Hi, this is a quick video on what we did today, and hopefully you'll get some practice in it. So one of the problems that we had was something like 54 on the outside and divided by 45 on the inside. So this original problem might have been written as 45 divided by 54. So the first number always goes inside and the second number on the outside. And so what we look is at 54 and we say, how many times does 54 fit inside of 45? So let me rewrite this here with the 54 out here and the 45 here. And there's 0 times, right? 54 is too big. So what we're going to do is put a decimal place here and up here, and now we're going to add a 0. And now you can see that we have 450. So with 450, it's a different question now. 54 times what equals 450? Just think about this for a second. 50 times 9 would be 450. So 9's too big because we have to say 54 times what? So I'm going to say 8 times 54. When you've done that 8, now we're asking 8 times 4 and then 8 times 5. I'm going to write that over here. 54 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32. But what do I do with that 3? I put it up in the tens column. And then I say 8 times 5 is 40, 41, 42, 43. So again, when multiplying a single digit by a 2-digit, you multiply the first digit with the ones digit. 8 times 4, put down the 2, and you carry, that's called carry the 3. Then 8 times 5 is 40, 41, 42, 43. Now we see how close we were. When I subtract this, I can see that the difference between 450 and 432 is 18. How did I find that? Well, I have a 0 minus 2. I'm going to borrow and make that a 10 minus 2, and now this is 4. 10 minus 2 is 8, and 4 minus 3 is 1, and that's 18 left over. We're going to go one more round on this. So we're going to add a 0 here and bring it down and make it 180s. And we're going to say 54 times what gets me close to 180. Let's try 3 times 54. 3 times 4 is 12. See how I did just this number here? 3 times 4 is 12, and I put the 1 up here. Then 3 times 5 is 15, and 1 is 16. So here we're going to have a remainder, because the 8, we're going to make a 7, and we're borrowing 1, and we get an 8 here and a 1. So we get that 18 again. That's a repeating decimal when we get 18 over and over again. So we're going to put a little bar here to mean repeat. So let's try one other one where we have a bigger number being divided into a smaller number. And we'll try that. Okay. So here we have 40 divided by 60. 40 divided by 60. Well, 60 times no whole number gets you to 40. So we're going to put a 0 here. And now we go to this place for 400. We look at that as 400. And we say 60 times what would get me to 400? Well, think of it this way. 6 times what would get me to 40? It's the same thing. 6 times what would get me to 40? 6 times 6 is 36, so that might work. So we're going to try 6 in the decimal points right above. And we say 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 6 is 36. And now when I subtract this, 0 minus 0 is 0. 40 minus 36 is 4. I'm right back to 40 again. So I can put a bar here. Okay, I hope that helps.